John Schneider here. You ever wonder where that shrimp cocktail came from? Well, so did I.
America has always relied on the working class. These men and women do the backbreaking work the rest of us cannot do.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
John Schneider is going shoulder to shoulder with these unsung heroes to learn how to do their job.
Yes, sir.
In exchange for that honor, he and the guys at the Lone Star Speed Shop transform these larger-than-life machines into the pride of America. On this episode of American Diesel, John Schneider goes shrimping in the Gulf of Mexico.
Set it over in there, kick it out.
Ho, 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 ho.
While the Lone Star guys rebuild a shrimp boat.
We need to make this boat stand out.
I think we go something pretty wild, man.
Don't let it fall on you.
I'm anxious for Brian to see the boat.
His life is never going to be the same.
Oh, man, check it out.
This is American Diesel with John Schneider.
Welcome to Palacios, Texas, the shrimp capital of America. Now, shrimping is a major lifeline in the fishing industry, but over the past couple of years, it's seen some pretty tough times. Now, nobody knows that more than one of the hardest working men in America. His name is Brian Brady. Now, just like all the fishermen that are still working the Gulf, he busts his hump day and night for the pride of his family and his country. Brian's a third-generation shrimper, and this week he's giving me the honor of working right alongside of him. Ahoy!
Hey, man, I know you.
Hey, you Brian?
John Schneider.
Hey,
How you
Brian.
doing?
All right, now that's a handshake. Put that mitt up there. That's a real hand there, my friend.
When you shake Brian's hand, you realize this is a really hard-working man.
I came here to learn about what you do.
Well, this is a shrimping boat, and we make a living with it.
Okay.
It's, not for everybody. It's kind of
Been
hard.
doing it a long time?
Oh, I'd say 25 years.
Yeah. Because I'm guessing by the looks of this boat that it might be a little older than that.
Well, the boat is a 1958,
1958.
homemade.
So your dad bought it.
My dad's got an eye for junk. Stuff up, so,
Don't tell your mom.
When I first see old buddy, I think, oh no, what have we gotten ourselves into here? There's not an inch of old buddy that doesn't need some sort of repair.
You know, he just don't run like he used to. He don't
Who
have
does?
the power. Yeah, I know.
So I love to find out how things work. I go and have a shrimp cocktail somewhere. I'd like to know where it came
Where'd
from.
it come from?
Yeah, so here's the deal. You're
All
going
right.
to take me out, you're going to show me what shrimping is about.
Oh, man, that's great.
And I'm going to have this boat taken to the guys at the Lone Star Speed Shop and make it better for you. I can see in your eyes that it's a good idea.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, that would be a good thing.
We want this man to be able to do his job, which is shrimp, not fix scotch tape and duct tape all day long.
Let's get this out of the water and get back into the water on something else.
All right, man, I'm in.
When I see this thing come up, this real Star Wars looking thing, and I think, man, this is amazing. They truly have a tool for everything.
The crane is hydraulic and it's got these two slings that hook underneath the boat and they lift it up out of the water.
We have to get all the barnacles off the bottom.
Now we've only got about 30 minutes to get them off because once they dry like cement.
You got to use some elbow grease to get them things off.
Now comes the world's most powerful, biggest water gun. It's like Dirty Harry. You know, go ahead, make my day, Barnacle.
Time to get old buddy on the trailer. So I lean on the boat.
Oh!
And a piece of it, the boat, just falls off in my hand. I honestly don't know if we bit off more than we can chew here, but I know one thing for sure. If there's any boat on the planet that needs some TLC, it's this boat. All right, Brian, we're going shrimping tomorrow.
In the morning, early.
You want me there like 8, 9 o'clock?
No, let's try 4:30.
All right.
Well, you know, I'm really excited and kind of nervous too because John just drove off my boat. I don't know these guys going to be taking care of old buddy. I hope they treat her right.
Here at Lone Star Speed Shop, we customize tractors, bulldozers, trucks, trailers. We're known around Texas for customizing just about anything. Y'all ready to work some nights?
Chance is the owner of the shop, leader of this group of crazies. He's the boss.
Sparks, are you ready for a challenge?
I'm always ready.
Okay, because this is going to be a challenge. Schneider brings us these little projects. It's almost like a game to him when he doesn't tell us what the projects are.
This is awesome. My guys, you see they work on land vehicles? They take one look at this boat, they're gonna turn tail and run for the hills. I mean, they'd like a challenge, but I think this one's gonna knock them right over.
Oh man, what is this?
Oh my goodness. Look how big that thing is.
That thing's a piece.
Unbelievable. Oh, buddy. What in the world have you brought us?
Come on, come on.
It looks like there's a piece of a boat here.
It's a shrimping boat.
It's all rotted.
This man makes his living with this shrimp boat, so it needs to be functional.
You know, I'm looking at this boat and I'm noticing it's got holes in the side of it and all the wood's rotten. The fiberglass is falling off.
Who wants to address that?
Well, this thing's gonna take a ton of work.
I want that boat in that garage.
Let's do it.
You love that horn, don't you?
I do.
Let's push.
Old buddy's gotta weigh 15,000 pounds.
This boat is heavy.
2, 3, 3.
Keep going.
Push. You gonna make it? We're clear in the front. That's good. Oh, buddy has a new home. Just in the nick of time.
That's for sure.
All right, we're gonna strip everything off of here that we can, take everything that is old. What's left?
There will be no.
We're taking every rotten or rusted thing off this boat. Once we hit rock bottom, then we'll know what we're dealing with here.
I need a torch, please. Nelly, what is wrong with you?
So, executive decision, I don't wanna fix that wheelhouse, I wanna get rid of it. I need something to cut that off with. Do not hand me a Sawzall. Get me a chainsaw. Get me a man saw.
I got a man saw for you.
I'm sure there are 999 safer ways to take the wheelhouse off, old buddy. But
Yes, sir.
There's 3 different types of guys in this world. There's boys, there's men, and there's John Schneider.
All right.
I think we go with something pretty wild, man. Depth finder, fish finder, infrared, like a hot rod on the water.
Boats are curved and 2x4s are straight.
More.
You gonna push or no, honestly?
Here we go.
I'm anxious for Brian to see the boat.
Oh, man.
Get me a chainsaw. Get me a man saw.
I got a man saw for you.
So Schneider decides the wheelhouse is too small, he's gonna cut it off with a chainsaw.
Come on.
You gotta love it.
Yes, sir. Woo! I need some hands up here. 1, 2, 3.
Now we got a convertible.
Ragtop shrimp boat.
Exactly.
there was a movie called The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think we just did part 3.
So I'm gonna go do shrimping with Brian, and you have to make sure that when he gets his boat back, he is absolutely, completely stoked.
I think we can do that. You think he'd be stoked right now?
I do not think he'd be stoked right now.
Make it nice, make it pretty.
All right.
Get to work.
Oh, it's 4:30 in the morning.
Well, I was really surprised to see John show up at 4:30.
Good morning.
I got the harbor master to loan us a boat so Brian and I could go out shrimping.
Boy, the loaner boat John got me was a Cadillac of boats. Man, it's a dang good boat. I think it's going to do a good job.
The shrimp are waiting.
They're waiting for us.
All right, let's go get them.
Cast it off.
I always wanted to say that.
Part of shrimping is knowing where to go. Last night it was real choppy, so we got to go a pretty good ways out to find them.
So the shrimping business has had a really tough time lately, but Brian knows that he has a tough row to hoe, and he's out here every day anyway.
Good spot?
Good spot.
The first thing you do to get started is you have to tie off the bottom of your net. It's what the shrimpers call a bag.
All right, tie the bag. A little simple knot. Goes under, over,
Oh, wait a minute.
pull the other one. All right. When you throw your net over the back of the boat, the speed of the boat pulls the net off.
Here we go.
And you know, it's about 80 pounds. It's tough doing it by yourself, but today I got some help. It's gonna be easy on me and hard on John. So y'all stay clear of the doors.
Whoa, yeah, you don't want to get close to that.
Shrimpers call these things doors or gates because they get caught up in the current and then they fan out and they open the net.
Yeah, I see the cable spreading. The shrimp then are caught up by the net. How long do you leave the nets out for?
You usually pull up to about an hour.
So you don't know whether you have any shrimp in there until you pull the net out of the water.
That's right. Sometimes you got nothing.
And to think that you could work this hard and possibly come up with nothing in your net, which means you're not feeding your family. It's tough.
While we were stripping the boat, we saw the entire wooden structure is rotten and needs to be rebuilt.
Look at this thing. Unbelievable.
So my plan is going to be to put Nelly and Dilla on patch on the side of the boat while I go round up the wood to rebuild the deck.
The only way to fix a hole is to get rid of all the rotten wood around it and replace it with new wood.
All right, well, we're gonna use this skill saw.
Bet we could do the same thing with this hammer.
I'm sure we could. I think it would make a lot more. Well, there you go. Me and Nelly had different ways of doing things. I like to measure twice and cut once. Captain Destructo over here. Nelly's just a force of nature.
Man, this boat's just got so much rot on it. I'm just gonna take the quick and dirty route. When we patch it, we're just gonna use plywood and screws. Pretty basic construction stuff. Kind of like building a treehouse.
All right, let's hit the spits.
Should be mucho better. Obviously, wood doesn't keep water out. It's just the easiest material to use to make a good structure. So to keep the water out, you gotta cover the patch with a waterproof putty we call fiberfill. You shove it in all the gaps and keep it smooth, kind of like Bondo for boats.
Looks pretty good, huh? That's how you fix a hole on a boat.
Once Nelly and Dilla finished patching the side of the boat, me and my guys came in and laid a brand new deck. So now what we're gonna do is lay the bull rail down all the way around the new deck we just built. And the bull rail is a short safety rail that goes around the edge of the boat. Keeps Brian and all of his gear from sliding right off into the water. It's really one of the most important elements of a fishing boat. The perimeter of the boat is curved. To put those bull rails on, it takes a lot of strength to be able to bend that 2x4 around the front of the boat. It takes a big boy to do that. That's where Big Mike comes in. Big Mike.
Yes, sir.
Look at that.
That looks good.
No, it doesn't. Boats are curved and 2x4s are straight. So to give Big Mike a fighting chance to bend these, we got a trick up our sleeve. The secret is you got to put little saw cuts in it about every 2 inches so you can bend it and not break it. Once you get all the slices in the wood, you nail one end down and give it all you got. All right, let's put some heave-ho in it.
More. We're pushing this bull rail in, and of course I'm not pushing as hard as I possibly can. I like to mess with Chance every once in a while.
You gonna push or no, honestly?
He just wants to use me for my body.
Oh, I can't do it alone.
I gotta let this guy know I'm not just a piece of meat.
Are you kidding me? Okay, put another one. Watch your fingers.
A little more. Starting to look like a boat now.
We finally got old buddy back to being just a good solid boat. That's what I'm talking about.
We're just dragging our first net, and I can already tell how physically demanding this job really is.
All right, John, we'll pick the doors up and we'll see what we got.
Here's what I'm doing. How's this? How's that? All right, there come the doors.
You fighting the wind and the currents when you're picking that thing up, and it weighs a lot. We're bringing the bag in.
We want to know what's in the bag, but the seagulls really want to know what's in the bag.
That's their lunch bag.
That's their lunch bag.
All right, John, we hook that in that, head back to the winch.
Could I pull that through?
Pull it through.
I'm trying to do everything I can as fast as I can.
Set the brake, we hook that in that, pull it by hand, kick it out.
He's doing 10, 15 things at the same time. And that's why these shrimpers are American heroes. We can't all do what they do. It's just, it's in their blood.
Boy, it's nerve-wracking watching that bag come in. Wait for it to get closer and closer. If we come up empty-handed, it's gonna be a lot of wasted work.
We've got the net all the way to the boat's edge, and I'm dying to see our catch.
He's a warrior. Let's give it something strong, bold.
That is a lot of tribal. That is incredible.
Building this wheelhouse is like building the baddest treehouse on the block.
Come on, man, we got to go to work.
Okay.
Boy, it's nerve-wracking watching that bag come in. Wait for it to get closer and closer. If we come up empty-handed, it's gonna be a lot of wasted work. And now we'll dump the bag. We'll get a net, dip it into the bait box, and we'll start to separate it. Scoop down in there and see what you can catch. We'll throw it on the table right here.
We're fishing out the catch, one scoop at a time. Oh, we got a little stingray. And we're putting on what the shrimpers call the culling table. And this is the final step to find out whether we won or we lost.
Just flip her over and dump her out.
I find nothing but croaker fish and other stuff, basically crumbs.
One shrimp,
What do you sell these for?
we sell them for $17 a quart. Sometime during the winter, man, it might go 3 or 4 months, we don't make no money. You just gotta scrape by.
There weren't a whole lot of shrimp in here.
Then it's time to throw the net back in the water. It's a never-ending process. We do it 15 or 20 times a day.
Brian just will not give up. He's one of the hardest working guys I have ever met, and I'm gonna do everything that I can on this next go-round to help get this man some shrimp.
It took a ton of man hours, but Old Buddy's back to being a rock-solid shrimp boat. It's functional, but it still looks like any old fishing boat out on the Gulf. Now we get to do our job and turn this thing into a one-of-a-kind. Hey guys, why don't y'all get off break and come on inside? Let's plan out Old Buddy. Yes, sir. So the biggest problem with this boat is the wheelhouse. Sparks, as you can see now, we've redone the bull rail. We've ditched the old square wheelhouse. You got any ideas for that?
When it came in, it was like completely boxed.
Right.
Everything on it was square, and I think we should give it a lot more curves. Check this out. I'm thinking instead of just having square plate glass, have more rounded glass, full panoramic view. More like a new model yacht.
I like it. You got a plan, Dilla? Is there anything else we can add?
A new stainless A-frame on it.
An A-frame is a real essential piece to the boat. It holds all the cables and all the pulleys so you can raise and lower the nets. They're supposed to be really sturdy, but they're usually really ugly.
It's gotta have a good paint job, man. I mean, we gotta do something a little wild. Every fishing boat or shrimp boat looks pretty much the same. I know it's a shrimp boat, but I think we go with something pretty wild, man, like a hot rod on the water.
He's a warrior. Let's give it something strong, bold.
I mean, this shrimp boat, when we put it out there, it's gotta be, it's gotta look like no other shrimp boat on the water.
I have a funny feeling it's gonna look like no other shrimp boat anyway. So let's go all out on this.
Yes, sir.
So we finished the bottom half of the boat, but Schneider chopped the wheelhouse off with a chainsaw, leaving us no choice but to build a brand new wheelhouse from scratch.
We're gonna have to get some measurements.
So I got my best two fabricators, Sparks and Dilla, building that up right now.
78 1/4.
The focal point of this boat has got to be the wheelhouse. It's where Brian spends all his time. I want him to be really proud of it. So giving it a little bit of shape and style, it won't look so dated like the old boxy one did. Once we have these built, we're gonna contour these in.
He starts drawing it out. Most of the time I can try to figure it out, and sometimes it's like, I don't know what the hell he's thinking.
You know, building this wheelhouse is like building the baddest treehouse on the block. You just gotta start cutting and ripping. This is gonna be Brian's command center, so we want it to be kind of like a cockpit.
DVD and all the other electrical components will be right in here.
Dilla reminds me a lot of myself, only with more tattoos, better looking, and of course, more hair.
I got you.
Like a glove. What we got here is the front roof supports. Everything round and smooth and appealing to the eye. I'm kind of excited. I want to see these glass panels start going into here. Once this thing's glassed, I mean, it's going to look absolutely gorgeous. Woo!
During the demolition of Old Buddy, we pulled the engine out to see if we could save it. Highly unlikely, as it's 40 years old, but we'll know soon enough. Wow, that can't be the same motor out of Old Buddy, huh?
Same motor. Got a nice surprise with this one. The engine in Old Buddy didn't need to be replaced. All it really needed was some good old-fashioned TLC. So we replaced all the fuel lines, new fuel filter, rebuilt the starter, alternator, redid all the wiring.
It looks brand new.
Well, you know. After working on this engine, I'm pretty pumped about getting this thing back in the boat. But we just don't have the proper equipment for it.
Dude, it's not as easy as you think, okay? Typically, we don't ever use a forklift to install a motor, but Old Buddy's pretty tall, so we're gonna have to use a forklift to set the motor in.
Whoa! Giant diesel engine and trying to put it 10 feet in the air, and it's swinging from a forklift on a chain.
Any wrong move with the forklift, we're gonna drop this thing and somebody could get hurt. Don't let it fall on you. It's kind of nerve-wracking because you can't see what you're operating on. Dylan, tell me where to go.
Down, down, down.
How we looking?
I still got it on my fingers. So.
Keep coming down.
I got it, I got it.
No, you need to.
Don't have it?
No. Big Mike, you need me to get in there and do that?
I got it.
No, we got to get the motor mounts lined up exactly to line up with the freshwater pumps and the other pumps on the boat.
Don't break the motor mount. I mean, this guy takes it out in the water. You don't want this thing vibrating and falling apart.
You know what we can do?
I got it right here. Chill out.
There you go. You're there.
Man, not bad.
We just got the engine set in, got it bolted down, and now it's time to lay the fiberglass to make this baby watertight, but then we can go on to paint. Why don't we put 3 or 4 of y'all up here on this deck, cutting some mat for us. We get a couple guys getting some buckets, get some resin going.
Come on, ladies.
First off, they're laying the resin out. Then they're gonna lay the mat down where we get the strength. Tuck it in, Dilla. We're gonna put another coat of resin on the top of it, roll it out smooth. It's gonna harden like a shell and make it watertight. Big Mike.
Yes.
What are you doing? You're supposed to be cutting some material.
I'm, oh, you got me right.
Okay. You're not on break.
When it comes to fiberglass, I still like watching.
You're gonna have to take this
I can't.
and pour it around the whole side, dude. Seriously. This is what I'm talking about. Getting this thing glassed up tonight, boys.
Scissor job's working out good for me. Everything's stuck to me, man. Oh. I've been wanting to do that all night.
Woo! Good job, guys. The resin needs to dry overnight, and we'll be painting the boat tomorrow. Teamwork.
Well, we're done shrimping for the day, so it's time to start thinking about getting some shut-eye.
So on Old Buddy, you don't have a bunk.
Nope, no bunk on nobody.
So on this particular boat, this is where you're going to sleep.
That's right.
So I want to sleep where you would sleep on Old Buddy. I want to do what you would do.
All right.
Okay. There's a certain look in your eye that I'm worried about.
Well, I've been where you're fixing to go, so
Okay.
it's all part of it. We happen to have one pillow, one jacket, because it's pretty cool,
Okay.
and you'll be good to go for the night.
Well, I'll see you in the morning.
All right, 4:30, I'll give you a holler.
All right. I'm a shrimper. Sure you're comfortable enough in there, Brian?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. How you holding up out there?
Oh, I'm just fine.
Well, we got to break into Greenhorn. That's the way we do it. Well, John Snyder, he's out there on the deck sleeping like a true deckhand. I'm here in my bunk. Thank you very much.
3 hours to sleep before we get up and go shrimping. I wonder if the shrimp are sleeping.
Come on, man. We got to go to work.
Okay. Some parts of me wake up slower than other parts.
Man, I slept good. How'd you sleep on the deck out there?
Like a baby. Woke up about every half an hour and cried.
Rough and tough.
Yeah.
Hey, man, good to see you, buddy. We're fixing to paint the boat. The paint job for Old Buddy's gonna be really complex. I brought Kerwin and his crew over from South Coast.
Well, we have a design for this thing that is going to make Brian flip out.
Wow, that is a lot of tribal. That is incredible. Kerwin's one of the best painters in Houston, especially when it comes to graphics.
We're going to lay out the stencil graphic down the side.
Okay.
Then we're going to do the candy red on the top.
This is what we love to do. Take a paint job you'd see on a motorcycle or a custom rod and translate it over to something totally unique, like a shrimp boat.
We've applied the black base, and now we're going to start applying the graphic to the side of the boat.
We have a custom designed stencil that we stick on like a decal.
Being 30 feet long, it's a challenge. It's going to leave a bubble in the middle. It's probably the longest stencil I've ever put on something.
It's a lot of fumbling around with these huge decals. It's definitely a team sport.
We apply water to allow us to move the stencil around. That piece right there. Thankfully, we're done with the graphics, and we are going to start masking it off so we can start spraying it silver, really make it pop. Look at this metallic that we're going to be spraying on the side of the boat. It's got a heavy flake in it. Let's go.
So where the stencil was will stay black, and where the tribal pattern is will be silver.
Let's start spraying the red candy.
We chose candy apple red because there's no other shrimp boat out there painted like this. We wanted this thing to be eye-popping and just knock the socks off every other shrimp boat out there.
When you see a candy apple and it's just deep and luscious and red and you just want to take a bite out of it, Brian's gonna love it. This is the Christmas present right here. See what it's gonna all look like when it's done. I mean, this is basically what's gonna make this boat right here.
Honestly, we had the worst boat in the harbor. And now we're peeling back the tribal pattern. This is why you do what you do.
All the spraying is done. We're bringing in Chuck to help out with the airbrushing.
We probably ought to talk about what we're going to do on the stern of the boat. What if we put the name of the boat back here and have it in big bold letters, like old metal,
Right.
rusted with rivets?
That would be perfect.
What I've done basically is laid out all the lettering and painting it to give the illusion that it's three-dimensional. And add some rivets to make it look like it's riveted to the boat. And all we're doing here is creating an illusion with paint. Darks and lights. That's how you do rivets.
I'm so proud of all my guys. I'm gonna have to put this one up at the top. This is one of the greatest projects we've done.
Well, yesterday was a bad day. We didn't catch nothing, but today's a different day. I'm gonna show John Snyder what shrimping's all about and why I love it. All right, we're ready to put her in.
All right, here we go.
And we're good to go.
Now on Old Buddy, there's no radar, fish finders, and no nothing. So how do you pick your spot?
It's just all about what you done in the past. You know where you caught them. It's hard to drag a new spot with Old Buddy because it has no electronics,
No fuel gauge,
no fuel gauge,
no compass.
no compass.
The more I work with Brian, the more I want his boat to be perfect. We're ready to pull the net in for the first time today, and we've got a good system down. Because Brian handles the winch, I untie the ropes, and I'm getting this down.
When John started, he didn't know a thing about shrimping. And I tell you what, man, he's a fast learner. Oh, you're doing good, doing good.
Brian's a really hard-working guy. You do all the work that he does. You get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you get the shrimp boat out there, you get the nets ready, and you pull up 12 shrimp. That's disappointing. Now, certainly I'm hoping today is better.
Well, seagulls around the net. It might be 2 pounds of shrimp or it might be 200. You just don't know till you get it in. We got $300 in fuel, $17 worth of shrimp. If we don't catch something this drag, we're going in the hole. Well, I tell you what, the ladies are loving John Snyder up there selling shrimp.
I'm anxious for Brian to see the boat. His life is never going to be the same.
Oh, man, check it out.
Shrimping is not going very well. Now, certainly I'm hoping today is better.
We got $300 in fuel, $17 worth of shrimp. If we don't catch something this drag, we're going in the hole. Oh man, look at that bag, big bag. I see this big bag coming up and I know we've hit the jackpot. All right, that's what it's all about right there. There we go. When you take somebody like John Snyder out, you want to do good. And we brought a big bag of shrimp in.
Woo! The bag is full of shrimp. It's really great.
Man,
Wow.
we done good. How about that?
So what we do now is we untie the bag and see what we got.
Oh, look at that catch.
Wow.
I tell you what, when you see all them shrimp hit that deck, it ain't nothing like it. Look at them shrimp jumping, man. Look at them jump.
This is a lot of shrimp, right?
Yeah, this is probably 250, 300 pounds.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna separate the shrimp from whatever else is in there. Whoa, hello. Whoa, that's a big one. Look at that. Look how many shrimp he's got. Hey. Are these blue? Is that what
Yes,
they're?
a blue crab.
Blue crabs, so the crabs go in the basket.
We also sell them.
What kind of shrimp are these?
These are mediums right here.
Yeah, all right. Whoa, get in there, you guys. That's a lot of shrimp.
It sure is.
All right, so tell me, how many good days, bad days? Is it usually a good day like this or a bad day like yesterday?
Bad day like yesterday. Today's a good
Really?
day. Yeah.
So you have more bad days than good days?
Yeah, most of the time, yeah.
Glad I was here for a good day.
Woo! There we go.
That's shrimping.
Every shrimper gets his gloves and his boots all wet. So what we're gonna do is have Big Mike and Nellie put us in a glove dryer to keep his boots nice and warm and his gloves dry.
What you do is you take your glove or boot, put it on one of these tubes right here, blows hot air through the tube, get your boots or gloves dry. This one here's a little too big for Old Buddy, so we're gonna go ahead and modify it and make it fit. We only need this thing to be about 18 inches tall and have 4 blowers. So we're gonna go ahead and cut it in half, that way it'll fit in Old Buddy. All right, man, let's go ahead and get the plasma fired up, man. Let's get this thing cut in half. We're gonna use a plasma cutter because the metal is thick. It's really the only tool in the shop that we've got that's gonna go through it without breaking down.
All I'm doing right now is screwing the metal dryer to a wooden frame to give it back some of the strength that it had before we cut it down. Also, it'll make it a lot easier to mount in the boat. Throw it in there, big guy. Cool.
The only other thing we have left to do is test it, man.
You kidding me?
We had to test it out before we got off the boat, or at least that's what Chance says. Somebody has to try it first. At least that glove and boot dryer's working, because otherwise Nelly'd be stuck with some serious athlete's foot.
So Nellie and Big Mike are done with the electric boot dryer, but we still got a ton of work to do.
We pulled in a huge haul. It's like 300 pounds of shrimp.
You've been a good deckhand. I enjoyed having you on the boat with me.
Brian says it's time to head on back to shore and start selling. And we're going to turn our catch into some hard-earned cash.
We're headed in.
Permission to get off the boat.
Permission to get off. You've earned it. Well, John done a good job on the boat, but that's only half of it. Us shrimpers, we make our money by selling shrimp by the quart. Now it's time to see how John does his sales.
Got all this shrimp here. A quart?
1 quart. You
Frozen?
got it? Live. Quart alive.
Brian runs a great operation here. You see, he understands that live shrimp are worth more than frozen shrimp. So he has 2 huge tanks to keep the live shrimp swimming until someone decides whether they want a quart or they want a gallon to take home for dinner. How do you know when you have a quart?
We got a little measure deal right there. We fill it up.
Oh,
Good to go.
there you are, sir. $17.
Hey, you look good now.
I feel good. I feel good. Shrimp, anybody need any more shrimp?
Well, I tell you what, the ladies are loving John Snyder up there selling shrimp.
There you are.
Thank you.
I think you must be good at sales because he's just a good old country boy like us.
There you are, sir.
Thanks, sir.
When you cooking them?
Tonight,
About what time?
about 8.
We made a lot of money here for the week's work, and I've honestly had a blast. But right now, it's time to catch up with Chance back at Lone Star and make sure that Brian's boat gets done on time. Well, I gotta go see a fellow about a shrimp boat.
All right.
But you have to stay here.
John, thank you. I appreciate it, buddy.
Okay, I'll see you later,
Yes,
Brian.
sir.
Brian's coming tomorrow. Old buddy's not done yet. Chance, make yourself useful. Well, there's a big mad rush at the end. You guys better watch out.
Schneider's been cracking the whip on us.
Nellie's coming along. You done? I'm back at the Lone Star Speed Shop and I'm ready to join the party. And Brian's coming tomorrow. But old buddy's not done yet. Now, don't get me wrong, the guys have done a great job. They work really hard, but they haven't finished the work light, the A-frame, or the live wells. There's a whole lot left to do.
Help put this light back here. That way we get some.
Great. Chance, make yourself useful.
Please.
That's a heavy light, boys. That's a LED.
Cool stuff. We got a Warrior shrimp boat now.
Yeah.
Where's the A-frame?
Sparks and Nellie are grabbing it.
You guys better watch out. Sparks, this is fantastic.
We got all premium Raymarine electronics in here. Radio, navigation, radar. It is awesome.
The new live wells are leagues ahead of the old ones, those beat-up things that Brian used to use. Okay.
John, you good with plumbing?
Yeah, I just had a checkup. As usual, there's a big mad rush at the end, and right now we are panicked to get this thing done so that when Brian sees it, it's finished, it's functional, it's beautiful, and most important, it's ready to put it in the water.
We're hoping Brian likes what we've done as much as we do. You better, man. I've burned a lot of calories working on this boat.
Nellie's coming along. You done?
I am done.
Good to go.
Schneider's been cracking the whip on us, but we got it done. A week's worth of hard work has led up to this. Time to see if Brian likes his new old buddy.
He is going to love this boat.
We snuck Brian in the front door. Reason being is the boat was out back and we just didn't want him to see it yet.
Hey, man.
What's going on?
You excited?
I'm ready. Man, I can't wait to see old buddy. They ain't won't let me see it yet, and it's killing me.
So there was a lot of dry rot. There was a lot of wet rot.
Yeah.
In fact, hey, Chance, bring in what's left of the original old buddy.
Here I come with old buddy. This is what's left of
Of
old buddy.
Managed to salvage.
Well,
There you go.
that was the best part of it right there, wasn't it?
I'm anxious for Brian to see the boat. His life is never going to be the same. So you're going to stand in the middle. We're going to open the door, and you're going to see old buddy.
Let's do it.
Ready? Okay. Now, wait a minute. Hang on. I'm just messing with you. Come on, let's
go.
Hang on a second.
There we go again.
I think he was going to clock me. Come on. Ready, Chance?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Okay, on 17. Ready? 1. 17.
Oh, man, check it out. Man, I can't wait to see old buddy.
His life is never going to be the same.
God almighty. I think you work miracles. Look at it.
Ready, Chance?
I'm ready.
When Brian first sees old buddy, when those doors come up, I think he's going to be really excited.
Let's do this.
Okay, on 17. Ready? 1. 17.
Oh, man, check it out. God almighty. Is that the same boat?
What'd you think about that?
How'd y'all do all that, man?
New buddy, huh?
I didn't expect, in my wildest dreams it looked like that. I didn't know what to expect, and when that door come up, I was blown away. Could not believe it. I think you worked miracles.
We're glad you like it.
Oh, I love it.
Seeing Brian's face is one of the best rewards I could have.
I like the paint job.
You like that?
They painted it up. It was tricked out. It's gonna be great.
Ooh, you remember that hole that was right here?
See the A-frame matches the wheelhouse?
See that? My old boat had a straight A-frame on it. It was weak, man. It wouldn't hold up.
That's not going anywhere.
It's a lot stouter and it's a lot shinier than mine. It's gonna work out great. Oh, buddy, right there, boys. The shrimping warrior. Wow, man, who'd ever thought it turned out like this?
Think it'll catch shrimp?
If it don't, who cares?
If Brian likes this boat now, he is gonna flip when he sees this view from the top.
Yeah, look at it. My old boat, it had a little wheelhouse on it. It was small, squared off. And when I seen this one, man, it was big, it was tall, it was wide. Wow.
You can stand up in here.
Oh, yeah, you don't hit your head.
Yeah. Come on, check out these bait boxes
Let's check
here.
them out. Bait boxes help keep the shrimp alive. My old boat had a couple horse troughs, which you can imagine is not really the idea of bait box. That's cool.
We got these from Custom Live Wells.
Cool.
This guy made them for us, delivered them from Minneapolis.
No kidding.
So does this beat that horse trough?
Oh, man, what are you talking about? Man, they got these electronics. They got radar, they got plotter, depth finders all built into this one unit.
Night vision, since you say you shrimp in the morning.
Too much, Chance. Wow.
So Brian, here's another little surprise for you. On those cold winter days, and your boots get wet, your gloves get wet, you bring them over here, you hang your boots on the top, hang your gloves on the bottom, and you flip this baby on. It's called a glove warmer.
Get out of here.
Let me tell you what we got here. We got a culling table, but where's it at?
I don't know.
Well, let's find out.
Whoa, all right, check it out. They push this button, and all of a sudden, this hydraulic table comes up out of the floor. My culling table, I love it. It's something out of the future. Yeah.
Shrimpers, they use a culling table to start sorting all their shrimp and all their good stuff.
Good job. Golly, y'all guys are great.
I think every time Brian pulls a net out of the water, he's going to think back on this whole experience. And he's going to smile. That makes me happy.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow, old buddy's getting back in the water.
And I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying.
We know a lot of that.
With the job finally done, it's time to see Brian and the new old buddy off on their maiden voyage. So that's it.
Man,
She looks
beyond my
really
dreams.
good.
She looks more than good. You know, being shrimpers, we're proud. We take the good with the bad. But seeing this boat, man, it's gonna make it real easy.
Go show the shrimp who's boss.
Oh, there we go. Happy shrimping.
You know, it feels really great knowing that we're actually helping Brian, who works really, really hard. We're helping him do his job a little better, a little easier, with a whole lot more style. I believe that we really are changing somebody's life for the better.